How do you get to heaven? You've heard people say, when I die, I want to go to heaven. You've also heard people say stuff like, Jesus is the name that's above all names, and I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. But where is heaven? And how do you get to it? What if I told you that you can go to heaven while you're here on earth? Right now, where you see me, I am sitting above normal level ground. So to get to heaven, that means that something has to be elevated. That means that something has to rise above. When you sit above, you actually get a different perspective from where you're standing. When you sit above, you actually see things quite differently. So imagine if you were to rise above your problems. Imagine if you were to rise above your circumstances. Imagine if you were to rise above your everyday normal situations. You would see things quite differently. It's amazing what a little elevation can do. Totally different perspective from where I'm sitting. A mountain from an aerial view looks totally different than when you're standing on the ground. Standing on the ground, that mountain looks much bigger than what it really is. But the higher that you go, the smaller that mountain will appear. Matter of fact, everything seems to appear smaller the higher that you go. So that means you need to elevate your mind. You need to allow your mind to take you above the normal circumstances of life. The things that bothered you 5 years ago, it's time that those things no longer bother you. You need to think above that. You need to think properly. So what is thinking properly, and how do you do that? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Finally, brethren, think on things that are true. Think on things that are just. Think on things that are honest. Think on things that are pure. Think on things that are lovely. Think on things that are a good report. Think on these things. Let your mind be transformed, and do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Elevated thinking, transformation of the mind. You can switch your house, you can switch your car, you can switch your girlfriend, you can switch your husband, you can even switch your underwear. Just don't let me see that though. But you can switch all of these external things, but if you never change your mind, nothing will change at all. You will find yourself back in the same circumstance. You will find yourself back in the same situation. You will find yourself dealing with the same people, dealing with the same kind of problems if you never change your thinking. Therefore, you need to remain positive and optimistic instead of negative and pessimistic. You need to see your glass half full instead of half empty. I promise you will get a glimpse of heaven, and you will know what it feels like to go to heaven when you elevate your mind and transform your thinking by thinking on these things.